Welcome back to Sports Talk with Dad. As always, my name is Kyle, and I cannot call this Sports Talk with Dad without the man sitting next to me, a man who used to relate to Marty McFly, but now relates to Doc Brown, my dad, Tim.
I tell you, it's the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future, and that's what you go with?
Yeah, that was a good one, though. It's true. I mean, think about
I
it.
still relate to Marty. I could never ride the skateboard behind the truck, but I thought it was very cool.
I want you to think about this.
I wish I could play the guitar and play Johnny Be Good the way he did, which I heard wasn't him.
You heard wasn't him?
Yeah, I heard it wasn't Michael J. Fox doing the singing on that song.
Duh.
In the movie.
Yeah.
I thought he actually sang the song in the movie.
No, he did not.
Eh,
I want you to think about this, though.
I don't want to.
You are 20 years older than Doc Brown was in that movie.
He had bad hair for a guy that was young.
Maybe not. How old was Doc Brown supposed to be in that movie?
No idea. He was an adult in the 50s, and the movie was in the 80s. So you imagine he was in his 20s in the 50s.
It's probably in his 50s.
60s.
So about your age. I know that Christopher Lloyd was in his 40s. Fun fact, complete squirrel moment here. Did you know that in Back to the Future Part 2, you know when they get there and he takes off the old man mask and he said he got this whatever procedure? He did it because he didn't want to wear prosthetics anymore.
There you go.
He didn't want to be that old.
Nobody does.
All right, on to sports here. The World Series. Game 3 was a game for the ages.
I watched every pitch of every inning. I loved it. However, the game finished, we're in Chicago time in Milwaukee, at 2 a.m. For the Toronto players who didn't have time for their body clocks to adjust, it was 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But Freeman comes through in the clutch. Ohtani had 2 home runs. Toronto was outstanding.
Reached base 9 times last night.
He got walked with nobody on.
Yeah, he got walked. After he went 4 for 4, he was walked every single time he came to the plate. And that was the right decision to make.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Man up and pitched to the guy.
He just went 4 for 4 and took you deep twice. No, you don't pitch to him.
He's pitching tonight.
He hit home runs in 2 separate locations at the plate. I mean, they literally, all of his hits came from the ball being in different spots.
Yeah,
you don't pitch to a guy that it doesn't matter where you throw the ball, he gets a hit.
The ball is looking like a beach ball coming up there to him right now.
He's seeing everything.
Everything.
The first player in history to have 3 multi-hit home runs in the playoffs.
And he pitches tonight, and I imagine he'll hit a home run tonight as well.
Probably. He's got 9 home runs, which is second most all-time in postseason.
He has the greatest game in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
In the division series.
Game 4.
This is
6 innings, pitched 10 Ks, 3 home runs.
People need to enjoy this because they're never going to see this again. However,
you don't pitch to him again.
However, 6 hours and 39 minutes for that game.
It was.
I'm a baseball purist. You know that. I love the game. That was long even for me. And it was a pitching duel, and they were playing great baseball.
It was better than the 6-hour game that only went 10 innings only a few years ago.
Well, credit to baseball for fixing that issue.
So at least it was 18 innings, and it went that long.
I mean, Kershaw came in relief. They were getting that far down into the bullpen. I'm going to bring it up because we've talked about it before. Should baseball go to a home run derby, even though this kind of an epic game would never happen again?
Yes. It is time. I went to bed after the 9th. I didn't know how long it was going to go. I had to work in the morning. There was no reason to keep watching the game. I didn't know when it was going to end. I'm glad I went to bed because it went to the 18th.
I had to work this morning too, but I watched every pitch.
You're a better man than I, Charlie Brown. I'm not a fan of the long games, especially in the postseason. Number one, they're still starting too late. Yes. I get it It makes more sense because it's in LA, but you still should be starting
It
these
was
games earlier.
it was still 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is too late. It should be.
It was 7 o'clock
It's-
Eastern time, like
was it?
7:30.
It should start at 5:30, 6. Yes, it's 3 in the afternoon in LA.
It should
but
start 6:30 Central time, or Eastern time, the latest.
Yeah,
It's the latest it should start.
so the kids could watch because kids weren't. I mean, I don't know if the boys watched any of the game with you last night.
They watched up to about the 6th inning,
Yeah,
and then they had to go to bed. So they didn't
It-
get to see a lot. They got to see Ohtani hit one. I made him watch Ohtani at the plate. He hit a home run. I did my job as a father. But they weren't staying up for the whole game. There's no way for them to get into baseball. But here's the thing. It is time, and I've changed my opinion on this a little bit because I don't think it should be the 12th inning. I think it should be the 11th inning. Let me speak. You have 1 inning of overtime, and you go to a home run derby. The reason being is it keeps you engaged for that 1 inning, knowing that it's coming the very next.
no,
It is 1 inning, and then it is
You-
time for a home run
you
derby.
let them play real baseball for 2 innings. 10th
Did
and
they have
11th.
ghost runners last night?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I hope not. No, I don't think so.
Okay, maybe they changed rules for postseason.
I hope they did. I didn't pay any attention. If they did, they didn't score.
Fair enough.
And Freeman, yeah, they didn't because Freeman went deep with nobody on.
Okay.
So, anyways, get rid of the home run derby should come in the 12th inning. You play 2 extra innings of real baseball, and then you end the game.
Name another sport that has 2 overtimes at this point.
I don't have to. Baseball's separate. Baseball's the greatest game ever invented. I want to
is.
see them play an extra 2 innings to see if somebody can end it, and then go to what has to happen, just so there's a time frame on the game. That game would have ended probably about 11:30 Eastern time, which would have been great.
10th inning, and then home run derby.
No.
You don't need 2 extra innings of baseball.
10th and 11th.
You
and
don't.
do it.
You've played a whole game.
Yeah.
You've had a whole game to make something happen. You get 1 extra inning to try and make something happen, and then it's on to this home run
2
derby
extra
to
innings.
end the game. Listen,
Okay.
It was great. It was a classic.
It was.
It went too late. I mean, would I love it if you could just have that in 10 innings and hit the walk-off? Yeah, that'd be great. But here's the thing. Who's he hitting against? I mean, how many pitchers do they have
Well,
left?
exactly.
Also, this is a 7-game series.
Right, and now they're going
And
into
you've
the next
just
game.
burnt all of your pitchers for game 3.
I don't know. Otani's pitching tonight.
He's going to have
He's
to
gonna
go
have
7
to.
or 8.
Yeah, he's going to at least 6 because I don't know who they're going to have to bring in because they burned through they played a second whole game last
Right.
night, obviously. I just think for everybody involved, baseball's coming to that point where they did it in the All-Star game and people absolutely loved it. So refine it from what we had in the All-Star game, bring it into the World Series, and that game should have ended then. I'm still not sure. If it was the 7th game, would I have liked to have seen the full 18? Yes, but I don't want to see any game end at 2 a.m.
You can't change the rules just for a game 7 because you don't have enough pitchers at that point. Because if you're going to do that, you don't need as many pitchers on the roster, period.
Which the union's going to have a huge problem with.
You can if you want, but you just don't need as many. You have to end it there. It happens in the 11th inning.
12th.
1 inning
2
of
innings.
extra baseball.
2 innings.
Why, though? What's the obsession with 2 innings? 1 inning, done.
I want to see real baseball for the 10th and 11th, and then
It is
then do
real
the homer.
baseball. But why
not.
do you want an extra inning? Why do you want 2 overtime innings versus
I wanna
just
see if-
1 and then
I want to
here you
give them
go?
every chance to finish it as a regular baseball game can be finished. Call me the purist in me coming out. I want to give them 2 opportunities and then go to the home run derby. It'll be a spectacular way for fans to be engaged. Nobody's going to go anyplace, whether it's the 11th or 12th. People are going to be there. They're going to watch. I just want to see more baseball, but not until
Just
2 a.m.
End it. 1 extra inning and done. I've been sipping this here and curious why it tastes weird. I'm pretty sure that's Diet Coke and not the Pepsi Zero I was expecting it to be.
I'm drinking Sprecher.
You have Sprecher root beer?
Yeah, I brought you the kids some,
Good to know.
and I sold one.
Do we say on Wisconsin still?
No,
Or do we reverse the O in the end and say no, Wisconsin?
I think we
No.
say, oh, Wisconsin, what's happened to you? A lot has happened since last Saturday when they played against Oregon or Oregon.
Oregon, the state.
Okay. We've got an Oregon in Wisconsin that says because Wisconsin has to be different, you say it Oregon in Wisconsin, and Oregon when we're talking the state.
Right. And apparently it's Toronto, not Toronto. It's like, no, there's a T. You pronounce the T.
Yeah, it's Toronto.
Right. Apparently it's not how they say it in Toronto.
What do they know? They're Canadians.
Exactly.
Okay. So Tim Brando, who was doing the Badger game on FS1, comes out and says, there have been podcasters saying that Fickell's not engaged with the local high schools or the alumni. Don't believe what you may be hearing from these podcasters. Well, the podcaster happened to be Brad Nortman, former Wisconsin Badger football player, who also lives and broadcasts from Milwaukee on ESPN. This guy's engaged.
Yep.
Barry Alvarez on his show came out and called out Fickell, saying that he's not engaged with the alumni and the coaches don't hear from him, which to me means Fickell is going ahead and he's living off of NIL. He's not going out and recruiting the way he did at Cincinnati to build a program from within. I don't know if this was a stopgap for him to get to Ohio State in his mind, but he hasn't come in. If you're going to build a program, you're going to come in. He talked right when he took the job, I'm going to own the 300-mile radius. Well, that means you've got to be on the road in that 300-mile radius talking to every one of those coaches saying, hey, what do you got? Let's bring him in here. He's not even getting his own in-state offensive lineman, which Wisconsin's been known for since Barry Alvarez.
We'll get this. Talking with a friend of mine whose brother was at the University of Wisconsin, one of the top offensive line recruits in the state, committed originally to Luke Fickell and Wisconsin. Apparently, Luke Fickell does not play his underclassmen at all. Unless you are a senior or a super senior, as they call it, you do not get any playing time. So he transferred out. He now plays for Iowa State and Matt Campbell down there. The facilities apparently are unbelievable at Iowa State, which they're building in Wisconsin, right? They're building it right now. It takes time. But my question is like, why would you not play your underclassmen?
I have no idea. I mean, look at what Barry did when he got here. And yes, I'm going to go old school with Barry Alvarez, but he came in after Don Morton and the program was buried. I mean, there was nobody there, but he brought in guys and he started them. He built them up, had a bad first year, but he was in the Rose Bowl and won 3 in a row. We got the 3 straight Rose Bowls. Only guy to do that by playing his young guys and letting them grow.
You have to develop. What's the point of recruiting? And I think that's what it comes down to is clearly Luke Fickell is not recruiting. He is simply living through the transfer portal. I've had his back this whole time. I was like, his quarterback has gotten hurt, but all of a sudden there's a lot of smoke. And what have we always said? When there's a lot of smoke, at some place there is a fire.
Well, and I was supporting Fickell, and I've gotten called out in the comments for supporting Fickell the way I have. But when you've got the Godfather, the guy that the field is actually named after, Barry Alvarez, calling him out, there's a real problem.
You just signed him to an extension.
Bad move. That should cost McIntosh his job.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Chris McIntosh is the AD. I know he had to have seen this handwriting. If he's not calling coaches and talking to alumni, he's hearing from those people.
Right.
Why do you assign him to an extension? Why don't you go to him and go, Luke, what the hell? What's going on?
I don't think he realized that he wasn't recruiting.
Well, then shame on McIntosh, and he's got to go too.
I mean, you're not wrong. If you're not paying, I mean, football is everything. It should be everything to you. And if you're not paying attention to that, then what are you doing?
This all started badly because he tried to bring the air raid into the Big Ten. Was never going to work.
They've already tried stuff like this. Who was that one coach you guys had that tried to go small and fast? And
Gary Anderson.
It didn't work.
No, it didn't.
It did not work at all.
Epic failure.
And you're seeing it again. You're not going to get those type of recruits in Wisconsin. The problem is that you're going to have in Wisconsin, unlike Ohio State, because
You pay better than we do.
bingo.
You always have. Even back when pay wasn't supposed to be there, you paid well.
Listen, I don't want to talk about players getting paid when I saw what I saw in Madison, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody was getting their fill every single place. Everybody was paid under the table, and every school does
If
it.
anybody wants to know the story on what he's talking about, email us privately.
We'll tell you it later. But completely lost my train of thought here, as I always
Ohio
do.
State.
You're not going. Who are you going to find to coach the team? Say you fire
There's-
Luke Fickell, you have to pay him $300,000 a year
A
for
month.
till 20
A month.
a month.
Yeah, it's a huge buyout.
All right, listen. Brian Kelly is now owed upwards of $100 million
Exactly.
at LSU.
There's a buyout in there someplace. Pay Fickell, just like Kelly did, because Kelly didn't recruit down in LSU. The same things they're talking about Fickell
Right.
were what they were talking about Kelly, and LSU cut bait.
Listen, I am not a Brian Kelly fan from his time at Notre Dame. I am not a big fan of the guy in general. And he's the most overrated coach ever. Hey, another guy from Cincinnati being overrated. What do you know? He's a very overrated coach. He didn't do well at Notre Dame. He couldn't win the big game. Same at LSU. And LSU's just like, listen,
Yeah.
we're done. We're
Yeah.
cutting bait. The same way Texas A&M did with Jimbo Fisher. When they cut him, they owed him like $70 million and just paid it out. You're going to pay him out. If you're talking $300,000 a month, till what, 2031, something like that?
Look,
It's not that big of a buyout compared to the rest of these.
It's going to cost, considering the amount of money. I tell you what, if they bring Fickell back next year, they're complaining about attendance now.
Right.
It's going to be half filled.
But who's going to want to take the job? You're
only
not
one.
going to have, you're going to get an assistant coach to come
There's
in.
only one
If
name.
you say Leonard, I'm going to freak out.
If anybody says Leonard, I will.
You
They
know
will-
all
they will
Wisconsin
not-
fans are going to want to go back in time.
That would be the most stupid thing they could ever do, is to bring back Jim Leonard. And I love Jim Leonard. He
Is
was
it most stupid or stupidest?
both apply.
Okay.
You don't bring back Leonard. He hasn't been even in college football. There's only one name that you can go and get that actually
Oh, I
knows
know
the-
who you're going to say.
knows the state, has won in the state, has the respect of the coaches, and might be able to turn this around quickly, and that's Lance Leopold, the coach.
Do you think you
from
can get him from
Kansas.
Kansas, though?
He's not doing well there. He started out hot.
Okay, you can't say he's not doing well. It's Kansas football, which has never been a really good program. He did win in Kansas.
He did.
But he did just lose the 17th. He didn't, but the program just lost the 17th year in a row to Kansas State.
And you can't do that. I make that phone, whether you can get him or not. He's the very first phone call I'm making.
Do you think he goes? Because he very quickly, granted it was after he just had a winning season at Kansas. It was his first year
Sure.
there. He made it very clear he is not leaving Kansas.
Correct. It's been another couple years now.
It's been 3 years since then.
I think you can get him now, and I think he's the one guy who actually can come in and kind of put some excitement back in and actually have the high school coaches go, we got a guy here. We know this guy. And they'll relate to him and they'll talk.
For those of you that don't know, Lance Leopold was the head coach at the University of Whitewater, University of Wisconsin Whitewater. Won several national championships, became the fastest coach to 100 wins. I think he went 106 at Wisconsin. All of his losses come in either in the finals of the playoffs or the national championship game before he went to Buffalo.
They went to Buffalo.
Division 3. But he did recruit a lot of guys from Wisconsin. I know people that played for him, and I've said nothing but great things about him.
I think he's a motivator. I think he loves what he does. He loves the recruiting process. I think he could come in and actually turn the program around, and he'd be the guy I would try to get.
The first coach that really becomes about developing players again is going to win.
Yes.
I mean, you have to, in Wisconsin, you have to develop your own players, because here's the thing. In the state of Wisconsin, if you get Wisconsin guys, they're not leaving the university as long as you treat them well. They're just not. They're not going to jump like that. And I think a big issue is you have these guys, these star players that are willing to jump, and everybody wants to sign them. Ohio State was a different ballgame with Howard, because he had played at Kansas State for a while. It was his senior year. It was time to move on.
Right. Okay.
Different ballgame.
And again, this is why you've got to get these kids when they're 18 and why the football and the Power 5 level has to break off from the NCAA to get these kids incented and mandated that they stay at the same school for a period of time.
Unless the coach leaves.
If the coach leaves, a different deal. But that's got to be built in. But for right now, you've got to get a guy who can go into an 18-year-old offensive lineman's house in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin, or pick a small town in Wisconsin.
Kenosha, Racine,
Wanakee, Madison, wherever. And say, look, I know this area. Your son will be developed at Wisconsin, and he's going to get a good education. And guys will start going there again, and they want to. It's Wisconsin. They've grown up on the Badgers. They want to go to the university. Give them a reason to go.
Do they anymore, though?
Maybe not anymore.
A lot of these kids their formative years have been Wisconsin not being a very good program.
I still think you can get them. I mean, you look back in the day, way back in the day, you had guys like Mark Bortz who went to Iowa because he wasn't really recruited by Wisconsin. I think Alvarez changed that. He got all the big farm kids to come to Wisconsin.
He did.
For whatever reason, his running backs were all from New Jersey.
Mafia.
Whatever. He is the Godfather. I just think that it's time. I've supported Fickell as long as I could. I'm seeing way too much smoke now. I've got to believe it. And when it's guys from inside the program and when Barry is throwing him under the bus, your time here is done. My question to you is, say Ryan Day goes to the NFL after this year if he wins another natty, which he quite probably could.
He has to beat Michigan first.
Okay, if you say he beats Michigan in Michigan, because that's where it is this year, and he wins the natty.
Then he has one national championship that actually counts.
Yeah, right. Do you think Fickell is even considered for the Ohio State job anymore?
I don't. I can tell you who they will call, though, is Mike Vrabel. He won't leave the Patriots, but that will be a phone call they will make.
He has done such a good job in New England.
He has.
He has turned that team, that whole franchise
which you knew he
around.
would. He's an outstanding coach. He turned Tennessee around. I think they'll hire within. Matt Patricia will definitely be a front runner with what he's done for the defense this year. If he does what he did in Detroit, I hope he isn't the head coach. But as a defensive coordinator at Ohio State, he's done a really good job. So I think he's going to be on that short list. I could see them calling Chip Kelly to come back and being the head coach. He's an offensive coordinator for the Raiders, not going very well. I could see him coming back.
I don't think he wants to be a head coach anymore. This has crushed Fickell. Fickell was, when the Badgers got him, the hottest prospect in all of college football for coach.
Yeah.
And now I don't know. He's going to have to take a small job to rebuild his.
If these rumors are true, he got to Wisconsin and stopped working.
Exactly. Because at Cincinnati, he worked hard to get his recruits in. Wisconsin came in at the same time NIL was coming in, and that's where he put his energy.
I think he came to Wisconsin and thought he had a good program that he just needed to come in and coach, and he just didn't. The whole team thing he has written, I always think those things are dumb. I hate those from the word go. Take the stupid team thing off the back of your shirt. It's stupid. And clearly it's not working.
It's not.
You haven't gotten recruits. You're not getting anybody from NIL. You had a 4-star quarterback there that transferred the first year that you didn't play.
Yeah.
Which comes to him being an underclassman. You don't play underclassmen, which is dumb.
It is very dumb. If I've got Arch Manning in Wisconsin would have started as a freshman and figured it out. But at this point, I didn't think the program could sink any farther than with Paul Chryst. It's gone down farther.
Well, you've been shut out twice for the first time since 1977. You're going to have probably the worst record you've had since the early 90s.
Maybe
late 80s.
Maybe under Don Morton, yeah.
You had a couple of one-win seasons there.
Well, that's because he tried to run the wishbone at a time when the wishbone was dead.
Yeah. I don't see another win on Wisconsin's schedule. I don't think he makes it to the end of the season. But again, the question is, you better be having those conversations with Lance Leopold now to replace Luke Fickell.
I'm hoping that call's already been made. The agents talk to the agents and just get the deal done.
Otherwise, you don't have anybody else that's going to take over that program.
Otherwise, you're trying to find the next Barry Alvarez, and good luck with that.
You thought you did with Luke Fickell. Don't forget, Barry Alvarez was the hottest coaching candidate on the market at that time.
Here's the difference, though. Fickell had already gotten Cincinnati to the promised land and made it into the playoffs. Barry Alvarez was an assistant trying to make his bones.
Right.
And he came to Wisconsin and he worked tirelessly. Tirelessly.
There you go.
There you go. Got it out. He was talking to all the coaches. He knew every kid at every school, who they should grab. His assistants were out there working. He worked all the time, and he built the program to where it is.
He was also very engaged with the recruiting at Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
And so that's where a lot of connections came from. I don't know how engaged Luke Fickell was with recruiting at Cincinnati at this point, because he sure as hell doesn't seem to know how to do it. I know he wasn't engaged at Ohio State with the recruiting.
Different animal at that point, but
because it was at the end of Jim Tressel.
I hate seeing Wisconsin going through this, because under Barry we had 20 plus years of
decent football,
but a great program you could be proud of. We got to a bowl game every single year until last year. For Wisconsin, that's great. We are not. There was twice in the time that Barry was there, and then Bielema, that you actually were competing for a number 1 ranking, number 2, number 3, someplace
number
in there.
4.
And now, I mean, are they better than Northwestern? No. And they're at the bottom of the Big Ten.
I mean, could you beat Rutgers?
Not sure.
Right now.
I'm not sure. I mean, their defense looked a lot better against Oregon for the first half.
They did. Then they got tired.
They got tired. There's only so much you can do. All right. I can't talk about my Badgers anymore because it hurts too much. It's midseason in the NFL. And I thought it'd be fun to go through the ESPN Power Rankings as of this week.
Okay.
All right. I haven't sent you the list. I'm going to go from, who do you think is number 1?
Number 1 on the power rankings for ESPN. Let me check at.
Don't be looking.
I'm checking records. Hold on. NFL records.
It shouldn't be that difficult. You've watched the games.
I have watched.
Who is most impressive?
But it's ESPN, and I know how ESPN works, so I have to see how they're going to do this.
I don't agree with this, by the way, but we'll see.
I mean, if I had to pick my number 1 right now, I'd say Tampa, but Tampa just had a really bad game.
Yeah, that was bad.
I mean, if you have to pick a number 1 team right now, it has to be the Indianapolis Colts. They're 7-1 right now.
You cheated, but they are number 1.
Well, they're the best team in football.
They are.
They're 7-1. Daniel Jones looks outstanding. Jonathan Taylor is about to do things haven't seen in the NFL since Walter Payton.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he's a University of Wisconsin Badger, which I'm going to take credit for any good things that come from that program we can.
First Wisconsin Badger that proved it wasn't just because of the offensive line that I looked this good.
That's not true.
That is true.
They've got a great offensive line in Indianapolis, but they are number 1. Who's number 2?
Number 2, man, I mean, you could look at the Patriots at this point. You could look at the Broncos at this point.
Come on. The one team,
Philadelphia is
the team that I think you said would have 4 wins. The Kansas City Chiefs are number 2.
Come on.
They are back. They are back. They looked great. Andy Reid, as I said when we were making our picks, Reid is the best coach in football. He'll figure it out, and he has. As long as Kelsey doesn't get hurt, they've got a magic way of making things happen. They are number 2 on the power rankings. Number 3.
Eagles?
Eagles are number 11 on their list.
Are you serious?
Yes. I don't believe it either.
Number 3. I mean, after the Packers performance, I got to assume they're number 3.
They're number 3. Did you hear what Aaron Rodgers said, by the way?
No.
For the first time ever that he can remember a home game, he actually had to go to a silent count because the Packer fans were so loud.
Yeah, if only Packer fans could show up at Lambeau like that, it would be awesome.
Got another question. I mean, Jordan Love, by the way, tied Brett Favre's record for 20 straight completed passes.
Yes, he did.
Then there was Brandon McManus, our kicker.
Yes, you said it right. Brandon McManus.
I know. Coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Janked 2 of them.
Bring in the other guy. I don't know why you played him. You have a guy that hasn't missed. What is it? Haverson or something like that?
Yeah,
I
something
don't even
like
remember
that.
his name.
Irish kid.
But he literally has not missed. Why would you?
McManus had a bad quad, and he was just coming. And plus the fact that Pittsburgh field is notorious for not being great
Right.
to plan on.
Put in the other guy that you didn't pay.
Yeah,
Why would you not have played that guy if McManus is questionable? You have a guy that hasn't missed. You have 2 active kickers on the roster. Start the other guy.
I
That
would
was
have too.
dumb.
You ride the hot leg. Give McManus another week and let him start when he gets back to Green Bay.
I said this to you, it's nice to be back to kicking like a Packer again. I mean, we literally went Ryan Longwell to another guy who played all right to great number 2 who
Mason Crosby.
literally had one bad season and then didn't miss a field goal for God knows how long. And then nothing. And McManus just restarts it all over again.
No, McManus is going to be fine. I think he was just rusty coming off, and it showed.
Just bring in the other guy. I don't care who our kicker is. I just want them to make field goals.
And McManus had made everything until he got hurt. And then this other kid made everything, including a 61-yarder.
Asking a guy who's coming off of a quad injury to kick a 59-yard field goal is I don't know what you expected. I mean, that was short. That was real short.
I was surprised they didn't bring out the other kid. He's on their active roster. I think he was probably suited up.
I don't know.
Okay, number 4.
Sorry. We're on to this now.
Back to the power ranking.
Tampa Bay?
No,
Detroit?
Detroit. They are playing great.
Which means Tampa Bay's got to be next on the list.
Correct.
All right.
Number 6.
New England?
No.
Buffalo?
No. Bills are 10.
That makes sense. Denver?
Denver is number 6.
Man, did they look good.
They did. I thought Dallas would win. We'll talk about that in a minute. I got that game completely wrong.
Dallas isn't on here, are they?
No.
Okay.
No. Seahawks, number 7.
I don't get to guess anymore?
You will. I just have a question mark. I put a question mark behind the Seahawks.
Why?
Because I'm not believing them yet.
Honestly, I'm surprised the Seahawks aren't necessarily higher.
No. Too many mistakes. Too young.
Too many mistakes. What are you talking
no.
about? Darnold's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year.
And it'll end when the playoffs come around.
It'll end if his offensive line stops blocking. It will also end for every other quarterback if their offensive line stops blocking. I get where people are upset with Darnold in that situation, but those last 2 games, his offensive line stopped blocking.
Yes, because he was playing against better opponents who were blitzing and going after them. He's Sam Darnold. He's never going to, no.
He's a former number 3 overall pick.
And he's never played that way.
You're wrong. He played that way at Minnesota until he had 0.5 seconds to throw the ball.
Until it counted. Okay. Number 8.
That's just because he was a Viking.
Number 8.
That's what happens to the Vikings all the time.
Number 8.
Number 8 on the list.
Which, by the way, I did not pick their game this week.
Okay, now I know it's the Rams.
There you go. Number 9. You said it earlier.
Buffalo? No, you said Buffalo.
Buffalo's 10.
Buffalo's 10.
Same division.
New England?
Yeah.
They're that low?
They're above Buffalo.
Well, they're above Buffalo in the standings. They're number 1 in the division right now.
I think they should be up. I think they should.
They beat Buffalo.
I think New England could actually be up. Certainly where Seattle is.
I had New England at 5. I mean, that's where I thought they'd be.
No.
I am shocked they are that low. New England is an outstanding team this year. They were my pick for this is a team that could win a lot of games.
And they probably will, but I still...
And my favorite thing to do in the house, and it drives my wife nuts, but it makes the kids laugh, is they have a wide receiver named Booty. And he's scored a touchdown almost every single game. And whenever he scores, I yell to the kids, Booty just scored a touchdown. And she's like, really? I was like, his name's Booty. You can't yell at me for this.
And yet she does.
And yet she does.
All right.
I don't agree with the Chiefs being that high. I really don't.
I do. I think they're looking great. They're playing outstanding. They are the number 2 team.
Who have they played?
Everybody that they've had to face. And they've beaten them. Green Bay.
Hold on. Let's go back here. I need to look at the Chiefs' schedule.
Green Bay is right where they should be. Everybody this week now is talking about Jordan Love, how he's finally figured it out. He's got to be consistent through the rest of the season, but he did look awesome on Sunday night against the Steelers.
What happened is in the second half, we adjusted to the blitz.
Yes.
That is the first time since Matt LaFleur has been the head coach of the Green Bay Packers that I actually saw us change our offense because of what we were seeing on the field.
Designed rollouts gave him Love a chance.
We're running slants all of a sudden. We found Tucker Kraft. Now, Jordan Love did get lucky on a couple of them. That throw to Watson was not bad. Little bit of luck. That throw to Tucker Kraft
was a beautiful pass.
He pushed off completely. It was. I will give Jordan Love credit though. He knew he had one-on-one.
He was the only.
He saw it. He's like, I'm going to throw it up. Either Kraft is going to catch this, or no one's going to catch this.
Yes, because as he was throwing, he was hit. So I think that had something to do with it.
It was a mismatch. He's like, listen, either it's going to be caught or it's not. Yep. Tucker Kraft definitely pushed off.
He didn't fully extend his arm, leave him alone.
Listen, Tucker Kraft versus a 5'9", 180-pound corner doesn't have to extend.
I will say this. There were two of the worst calls I've ever seen in a game. There was a motion on Pittsburgh that wasn't called, and there was a double offsides on the Packers that never got called. And Rodgers was hot about that. Not as hot as he was when DK Metcalf didn't catch the ball he should have.
He said a bad word.
He said one of the 7 dirty words.
He did.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. He should have caught that ball.
Yes.
That's DK, again, talk about a giant going against a very small corner. There's no reason DK shouldn't have held on to that ball.
No.
But let's look at this. Hold on.
Okay.
The Chiefs lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Eagles. They beat the Giants. They beat a bad Ravens team. They lost to the Jaguars. They beat the Lions.
Yeah.
The only good team they've beaten. And then they beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then they beat the Commanders without Daniels.
No, they beat the Redskins without Daniels. But, yes, and they're on a roll. They'll be fine.
So who have they beaten? They're playing the Bills next week. Then they have the Broncos. Then they have the Colts.
We're going to talk about this. We're going to know by the end of this week if the Chiefs are real or if they're not.
They could go 0-3 their next 3 games.
They could, or they could go 3-0.
The Texans are getting hot. The Cowboys, they'll beat. They got to face the Chargers again. It depends which Chargers shows up. They'll beat the Titans. Then the Broncos again, and then they'll beat the Raiders. I will not say they're back until they've beaten one good team this year in the Detroit Lions, who choke against the Chiefs all the time anyway.
All right. So last week, let's go into our picks. You had a great week.
Finally.
It may be the best week you ever had.
I should be undefeated.
No, you're 4-1. You took the Giants over the Eagles.
Oh.
I was 3-2.
That was just because I didn't care anymore.
I'm 3-2. So right now for the season, you're making a comeback. You're 18-22, and I'm 22-18. I'm starting to fade fast, folks.
You still got a winning record. I still have a losing record. But I'm going to do it again this week. I'm going 4-1.
Okay. All right. So here are the games for this week. First game, Colts at the Steelers. This is a big game for the Steelers. They need to step up.
It is a big game for the Steelers. I'm taking the Colts in this one because I think Jonathan Taylor is just going to have a day against that defense.
How do you stop him? And Daniel Jones.
Well, the Steelers defense is not the Steelers defense we've known. This is not a good defense. No. And apparently DK Metcalf can't catch a ball.
Well, and look, Daniel Jones is showing that he was worth that high draft pick.
Yeah.
He's really, really good.
You always knew he would be. Jonathan Taylor is making a huge difference to that team. The wide receivers are outstanding. I mean, it's just a great team.
It's a good team. And Jonathan Taylor is making a play to be one of the few running backs to win the MVP in an award that always goes to a quarterback.
He won't. It'll go to Patrick Mahomes because the NFL is obsessed.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm still hoping for Jordan Love, but it's going to take a lot of work. All right, next game, Broncos at the Texans. We're both taking the Colts.
Pardon me. My apologies. I am allergic to picking this game because I don't want to pick against an Ohio State quarterback here. The Texans looked really good last week, and they are a good team. It's just that offensive line is so bad. I'm obsessed with the Broncos this year. I was last year as well. I am going with the Denver Broncos to beat the Texans.
All right. And
You know what? I'm changing my pick.
You can't. You just made your pick.
I'm changing my pick.
No, you're
I'm
not.
changing my pick.
No, you
I'm
can't.
going with the Houston Texans.
No, you're not.
I'm going with the
No,
Houston Texans to win this game.
it has
I'm going
been
with the Colts.
It's been recorded.
You hadn't made your pick yet. I still had time to change it.
You did not. I've taken Texans. You've got the Broncos. Pick was in. You're done. Next game, we got the Seahawks going to the Washington football team. I changed your pick. Don't worry.
Well, now I want the Broncos.
Who do you want? Who are you going to take?
Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Texans at home.
I'm taking the Broncos.
Fine.
Maybe the Texans.
I hate
All right,
you.
Broncos. Lock it in. Broncos.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Positive?
No, but I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Seattle going to play the Redskins in Washington.
The Commanders, number one. Well, the question is Daniel's going to play.
He's listed as doubtful at this point.
So he's probably not, which means I'm picking the Seahawks. The Seahawks are one of the best teams in the league this year. Sam Darnold's looking great. The running game is okay. The receivers are looking good. The defense has been solid. I am going with the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't want to pick the Seahawks just because I don't want to pick them, but I think they could win. I mean, I feel like I did against Pittsburgh when I took them last week. I wanted them to lose, and they did, thankfully, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they won. I'm still going to take Washington at home.
With Marcus Mariota, who's proven he is not a starting quarterback in this league at this point.
I'm hoping Jay Daniels has a miraculous recovery.
I still think
there.
even with Jaden Daniels, I think the Seahawks are going to win this game.
No.
Next game.
I have not recovered from 2014 with the Seahawks. I will never root for them.
Sam Darnold now.
Even more reason.
Russell Wilson can't hurt you anymore. He doesn't play.
Next game, Chiefs at the Bills.
Bills.
I'm taking the Bills as well at home.
I think you're going to start to see the Chiefs. I think the next 3 games, the Chiefs are going to go 0-3. I do.
Okay.
I think they're playing actual good teams now.
Okay. I think
And
the
they're
Chiefs are
gonna
going to
lose.
I think they'll lose this one, and I think they'll win the next 2. And finally, because we always pick them, and they better win this one and really win big and put their foot on the throat of Carolina because it's at Lambeau. This is when the Packers have to step up and show that they are a real serious contender for the Super Bowl by burying a much weaker team. Off my soapbox. Who are you taking? You always take the Packers.
They're playing the Panthers, right?
Yes, I said they're playing Carolina.
Did you?
Lambeau. In Lambeau.
I don't think you ever mentioned who
did.
they were playing.
I did. I did a dad rant. Leave me alone.
I did not hear you once
I said
actually name the Packers' opponents.
I did
So
say
I just wanted to make sure we mentioned who they were playing. It is the Panthers at the Packers. I am taking the Green Bay
Wow.
Packers.
you've had a day. It's been how much can you pick on Dad Day?
I mean, you are the age of Doc Brown at this point. I mean, honestly, I want to be honest because this is something everybody's going to go through. I'm going to go through this at one point. So, honest question with the 40-year anniversary. When that movie came out, and I've done this with the Goofy movie, it's the same thing. But when that movie came out, you would have more related to Marty McFly. Watching the movie now, do you find yourself relating more to Doc Brown?
Actually, no, because I have never been a scientist and I've never been goofy like that. I probably relate more to Marty's dad
Yeah.
after he recovers, and that's, after they go through time. So it's probably where I am.
Listen, you remember the Goofy movie?
Yeah.
So, came out when I was a kid, obviously related to the kid character in that, Max. I rewatched it
You are
with
goofy.
the kids,
You are goofy.
and it was a weird shift in reality for me because I hadn't watched it since I was a kid, and rewatching that and realizing I am relating more with Goofy now was a strange flip. So I was just curious if you were having the same thing with Back to the Future because you are older than Doc Brown was in that movie. So you probably relate more to when he was in the grave, honestly. That's probably closer than Doc. Too far. Got it. I see the look. Too far. You and I have had a great show, but as you all know, you cannot have a conversation with your dad without your father getting the last word. So it is all you.
We didn't have a chance to talk about this during the show, but we did talk about Back to the Future. This is the week of Halloween. And I tell you one thing I have grown out of. I don't like the blood and the gore of the Freddy Kruegers, of the Michael Myers. I much prefer the old suspense movies like The House of Wax with Vincent Price, the original Frankenstein, the original Dracula. Those are the movies that people should be watching. And oh, by the way, what you really should be watching is go and watch the Bugs Bunny cartoons. When they were dealing with Halloween, they are classic. Everybody would like them. I relate to Bugs Bunny.
Thank you.
Even though I'm probably more like Elmer Fudd. But
Yosemite Sam, more so.
yeah.
Thank you, as always, so much for watching. This has been Sports Talk with Dad. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.